Good evening, party, Edema. See, they have added party to my name. Oh my lord. Okay. Play me happy day by Alicia. Feminism.
And from there, you enter another bus, okay?
It's been 5 years since Sade traveled. She said she was going to Italy. She promised to send photos, maybe a voice note. Almost a year since Larry left. He told his mother he was heading north. Maybe Libya, maybe Spain. He wasn't sure. They haven't heard from him since he crossed Agadez. Sade left behind a sleeper, a notebook, and her mother's hope. Larry left a drawing under his mattress. His brother now sleeps on top of it. Some disappear with drama. Others, like them, vanish like breath in Hamatan. Sade, Larry, Amina, Efe. So many names erased mid-sentence. So many lives paused on their way to something better. We call it traveling, but what they enter was a tunnel with no maps. Sade's journey began in Benin. An aunt arranged it. 2 weeks, they said, he will work as a stylist. He'll become rich. Larry didn't have an agent, just a Facebook message, a free ticket to Kano, and a stranger's promise. He'll earn better. You'll send money home. That's how it starts. Not with force, but with persuasion. Not with chains, but with desperation. Some traffickers wear suits. Others carry Bibles. Some sing in choirs. Some sit in our living rooms. They are cousins, friends, even returnees. They offer contracts, school abroad, marriage. They whisper the word Europe like a spell, but they never mention the price. Shadi signed her first lie in the backyard. Larry was told not to tell anyone. Just get to the border. Everything else is handled. Every step forward is a step away from the truth. Every silence becomes a signature. The desert is not just the sand. It is hunger. It is the weight of those who never make it to the sea. Those who drown in the dry air before ever touching water. Larry was last seen in Agadez. Maybe he reached Sabha. Maybe he sleeps in a room with no roof, traded like daily tool. Shadi reached Tripoli, but there was no salon, no paperwork, just a room with 18 girls and no windows. No names, only numbers. The journey takes everything, their language, their God, their memory, until all that remains is survival on someone else's terms. One body, 150,000 naira in Kano. One maid, $700 in Lebanon. One kidney, $5,000 in Tripoli. There's a market with no stalls, no signboards, no receipts, but its customers are everywhere. Men in hotels, women in mansions, officials at borders. They say, we don't know, but money knows. Bank transfer knows. And those who disappear, they are counted cash. Some come back, but they return with silence stitched into their skin. Their laughter is broken, their dreams rewritten. Shadi was repatriated 3 years later. Her mother didn't ask what happened, only why she didn't return with money. Larry hasn't returned, but his cousin did. His eyes don't blink the same. His sleep ends with shouting. Coming home doesn't end the journey. Sometimes it restarts the pain.
Human trafficking is like a modern day slavery. Remembering the days of slavery, that these days, instead of people, slave drivers, going to the field to get these slaves from those who have captured them, sometimes these people who are trafficked walked into the hands of their traffickers, sometimes willingly but unknowing to them the type of business they promised them. They promised some of them good jobs abroad, in other African countries, or even overseas. But at the end of the day, especially women, young girls, at the end of the day, they become victims of high-level prostitution. And it is happening both within our country and those that have been taken overseas to Ghana, Egypt, Libya, and beyond. And so it has become a very serious problem, a menace for those who want to take everything hook, line, and sinker. Somebody will just say, well, I'll give you a job. I take you abroad. I will help you. I will do your passport for you. I will do this for you. I will do that. Forgetting that those are baits that they use in luring people into their net. And when they take them over there, they seize their passports and then make them very helpless. When they become, face to face with the realities of their situation. And so it is a very terrible situation that needs the effort of all in society, including parents, places of worship, religious gatherings, social gatherings. These issues need to be talked about, and we need to assist the authorities to ensure that all those who are within the ring of human trafficking are actually identified and disappointed, if not adequately prosecuted and punished.
Not everyone is blind. There are those who chase shadows until they find the source. There are names behind the rescue: agents, shelters, women with folders of truth. In hidden buildings, survivors learn to breathe again. Some madams are arrested, some recruiters are exposed, but for each closed case, 3 more open. Still, the fight continues in courtrooms, classrooms, and in border posts. Because there's no weapon more dangerous than awareness, and no rescue more urgent than the one that comes before the journey begins. There's no market unless someone is buying, no trade unless someone profits. Trafficking lives in the silence of good people. It hides in recruitment ads, in WhatsApp groups, It flourishes when no one asks questions, when abroad is more important than alive. We look away, we justify, we call it opportunity, not exploitation. But beneath the surface, the market runs, and it runs on our blindness. Trafficking is not just movement, it is manipulation, memory theft, a war fought quietly on the faces of the young. Shadi once wanted to be a teacher. Larry drew superheroes with wings, but now their future floats somewhere between missing and missed. Every trafficked soul is not just a body lost, but a future stolen. A city planner, a poet, a mother, a friend. They are not statistics, they are not the trafficked. They are names, and they were here. We passed laws, we made noise, but we did not stay awake long enough to watch them walk. Shadi's trafficker still owns 2 houses. Larry's story was never written. Court dates postponed, witnesses threatened, files lost in a dust storm of bureaucracy. What is justice without memory? What is a law that dies in silence? Some grief is loud, some is quiet. Shadi's mother no longer sets 2 plates. Larry's father stopped fixing the gate. In the village, people whisper, she must have joined them. He went to chase money. Now, look. But no one talks about the nights, the dreams, the empty shoes, the tears that only come after midnight. Loss does not always scream. Sometimes it just stops speaking. Foreign embassies write reports. Politicians condemn the trade. But in their countries, Nigerian girls serve tea with broken wrists. They call it domestic work, but it's slavery with curtains. They talk about border control, but not about safe passage. They open trade routes, but close refugee doors. Silence travels fast, especially across oceans. We focus on girls, but boys vanish too. Into construction sites in Sudan, into the militias in Libya, into prisons that have no walls, only work. Larry was 24. His smile bent at the corners. He disappeared not just from home, but from every record that could have saved him. They say men don't cry, but some of them are screaming just too far to hear. Larry may have drawn one last sketch in the dust before the sand took it. What happened next depends on whether we continue pretending it's not our problem. The market breaks when people refuse to ignore it, when silence is no longer safe, when questions are no longer swallowed. It's not enough to feel, not enough to mourn, not enough to say, how sad, because what we don't fight, we become.